And let's say I want to animate this head, but I don't want to animate it in all 3 axes. I just want to move the x-axis right here, up and down. Normally what we would do is we would lock a channel. So actually let me create a cube here. Okay, so if I wanted to do that here, so just rotate an X, I could take my Y and Z, right click, and then lock selected. You'll see the attribute turns gray right there. Now it'll only rotate in X right there. Perfect, yay. That's very useful, especially like if, I think you mentioned an elbow, where if some rigs you can rotate in all 3 axes on the elbow only bends in 1 axis in real life. It's a single joint, a hinge joint. So if we start animating it in all sorts of directions, you're just breaking the rig, or breaking the elbow, I should say, and breaking the anatomy of the character. So what if we want to do that on a referenced rig? Well, let's try. Take these attributes, right click, lock selected, and we get an error. You can see it's red down there. Basically, it's saying that the attribute is from a reference rig and cannot be locked. The reason for this is when you reference a rig, it is connecting to an outside source, and it limits what we can do to that rig. We can't tweak it in every single way we want. It's going to limit us. So our options are a little bit kind of condensed here. We have to be careful what we try to do. So instead, like A to the J mentioned, we could mute the channel. So muting, right click, mute selected. That channel, you'll see nothing happens. To mute a channel, you actually have to have keys. So let's set a key here first. Let's set a key on everything. And another key. So muting, right click, mute selected. You'll see they turn brown right there, kind of a tan brown color. Muting a curve basically means that there's still information on there. It's still keyed, but it's going to hide that animation and it's not going to update it. So here, for example, if I move it, you'll see I can still rotate in that direction off axis. As soon as I let go and update the view, or there we go, come on. It did it first, now it's not going to let me. Oh wait, there you go. So I just have to scrub through and then it's back. And you'll notice once it's muted, it actually doesn't even take a key anymore. It doesn't update. So even though technically I could bend it in whichever axis I want, as soon as I move, it's just going to lock that. So you could do that. If you want to lock it even more, I personally like the mute method just because it's nice and simple. But if you really want to lock it so it doesn't change at all, you could constrain it. So I could create an object. I'm going to create a locator, just kind of a basic object. I'm just going to call this my lock. So this is going to be something I can use to lock other attributes. So I'm going to take this and I want to lock the head. I don't want the rotate Y and Z to be able to be animated. So let's actually unmute these right here. So once again, locator, then the head. And I'm just going to go to constrain. And then I'm going to do I could do a parent constraint. Yeah, let's do parent constraint. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that I only constrain the Y and the Z rotations. So I'm going to make sure translations are not set and only the rotate Y and Z here. Now I hit apply. Those are constrained. They're locked. Which means that no matter what, if I move this, and once again, same thing, it's just going to snap right there. It does the same thing. Honestly, the mute method is way easier than doing a whole constraint. But the thing with the constraint method is it will work without animation. So if I didn't have any keys, let's actually undo this here. And I'm just going to delete all my keys right there. Now, if I move this, and then I just have to kind of update the locator there, it locks it in place. Yeah, and then you can bake out the constraint and keep the results exactly. So it builds it in so that you can actually key it to be all zeroed, whereas the mute method removes the ability to key, which is not a bad thing, but it depends on the scenario. Sometimes that can be a little bit of a pain. So those are two methods you can use. Honestly, I would use the mute method just because it's super simple. Just select mute. But if you have to have something locked on something that won't have keys, or if you have to bake out that animation afterwards, a constraint is going to work pretty well. So hopefully that gives you some options. And personally, this is what I would do versus trying to actually lock the attribute, because that would mean opening up the rig, the original, locking it in there, which could mess up other scenes that you're working on if you're using the same rig in multiple scenes. So yeah, hopefully that helps. And if you have any other questions on that, definitely let me know.